there, it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making this sweet little friendship card. It's project number 1 in my Beauty Abounds February club kit, which includes the Beauty Abounds stamp set and the Butterfly Beauty Thinlits. And these are beautiful thinlits. If you haven't had a chance to look at them, they're gorgeous. Check out my current club kit offerings on my website, www.cutstampcreateclub.com, and join us on our Facebook group, Cut Stamp Create Club. Now this is a landscape folding card, which is a little different from what we normally make. So let's get started making this adorable card. The ink and markers that you'll need is Lemon Lime Twist ink, and you'll need some markers, light and dark Highland Heather, light Old Olive, and light Calypso Coral. To start with, you'll need a piece of thick Whisper White, 11 inches by 4 1/4, and scored at 5 1/2. For Whisper White, you'll need a 4 3 1/4 inch, and a 1 1/2 by 3 7/8 inch. In Lemon Lime Twist, you'll need 5 1/4 by 4, 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, 3 1/2 by 2 1/2, and 3 1/2 by 1. You'll need a piece of Highland Heather, 3 1/2 by 2 1/2, a piece of Grapefruit Grove, 2 by 2, a piece of Old Olive, 3 inches by 1 inches. Grapefruit Grove, you'll need 3 1/2 by 1 and 2 by 2 inches. The DSP you'll need is the beautiful butterfly pattern, 3 5/8 across by 3 7/8 inches tall. And you'll need from your kit this label die cut from the Rose Trellis dies, and you only need 1, but you get 2. And then you're going to need some rhinestones, 2 medium and 8 small. You'll need a 6-inch piece of Lemon Lime Twist ombre ribbon. I'll be using my Stamparatus and a C block. Okay, we're going to start with our stamping, and we're going to use this beautiful floral stamp here. We'll use this small butterfly. A friend is someone who chooses you, and then out of a world of people, out of a whole world of people. We'll be using that one. So we're going to start by stamping our little flower image on our 1 1/2 by 3 7/8 inch piece of Whisper White. And I'll put that in place. And then I'm just going to place it here, just about right there. Center it. And I'm going to stamp that with the Lemon Lime Twist. Next, on our piece of 4 by 3 1/4, and it's going to be lengthwise because it's a landscape card, we're going to do the inside sentiment, and it says out of a world, a whole world of people. So I want to make sure that that's placed where I want it, so I'm going to use a piece of window sheet, and I'm just going to put my window sheet in the corner and stamp. I'm going to stamp somewhere right around here, make sure I don't have it, that it's not upside down, because I do that a lot. And that's going to also be in Lemon Lime Twist. Okay, that shows me where I'm going to stamp. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this under here, and when I get it where I want it, I'm going to remove the plastic. So I'll remove the plastic and stamp my image. Now I want to do the butterflies on the side, and I'm going to do those with my C block. So I pick up my butterfly, and I'm just going to start and then alternate. stamping. So let me ink up this here, that way. Get it inked up good. That first one wasn't that great. That one. It's okay if it's a little light though, because it's on the inside. And then I'll just do this last one here. Okay, so we are done with this inside sentiment. Now we're going to do the outside sentiment, and we're going to stamp that on our label that was included from our rose trellis thinlits. And I'm going to put that on a piece of scratch paper. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back to get it to stick to my scratch paper. Now I'm going to get my plastic back out. I cleaned it off from my last stamping. And I'll switch out to, we want a friend is someone who chooses you. So I'm going to stamp that image on my plastic and use that as a guide to where to place my paper. So that way I can make sure that I'm going to fit it all on there and it's going to be even. And when I'm happy with the placement, I'm just going to remove the plastic, ink up my stamp again, and stamp. And that's all the stamping that we have to do. Now we have some coloring to do, and we're going to color some things. We're going to actually color our rhinestones with our dark Highland Heather, and I'm going to use the bullet point because I don't want to damage my brush point by using my brush point. Okay, so I have my dark Highland Heather colored rhinestones, and I went over them twice with my brush, my bullet point. Now we're going to do some color our little floral image here. The flowers will be light Highland Heather. The leaves will be light Old Olive. And then these decorative little fern-like things are going to be light Calypso Coral. Okay, so we have our coloring done. Now we're ready to start assembling our card. So we'll get our card base, find our valley, and fold away. And then crease our fold with our bone folder. You'll want your 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of lemon lime twist, and your DSP 3 5/8 by 3 7/8, and then your little piece of decorated whisper white. And then we're going to put our ribbon, our 6 inches of ombre ribbon. I put the dark side to the left here. So let's go ahead and put those in place. It looks like there's a 1/16 of an inch all around. I'm going to use snail to put those in place. Now I'm going to put my ribbon on, again with the dark side to the where the white is. And I'm going to put some snail on the back where I think that the ribbon is going to fall when I wrap it around. And I'll just place that over where the two pieces meet to cover it up. So I'm just wrapping it around and sticking it in the back. Now this is ready to go on the front of our card. And it looks like there's an 1/8 of an inch all around. Now we're going to work on our sentiment. We have some die cutting to do. We have to die cut the Highland Heather. We've got some lemon lime twist to die cut. We have some grapefruit grove to die cut. And we have some old olive and grapefruit grove. Gorgeous grape. So we'll start by cutting the Highland Heather with the third largest scalloped oval die from the Layering Ovals framelits. And we're going to cut the Lemon Lime Twist, the 3.5 by 2.5, with the fourth largest oval die. Okay, so we have those done. We'll set them over here. Now from your Butterfly Beauty Thinlits, we're going to use these two dies here, and we're going to cut these. So we'll use this to cut our lemon lime twist and our grapefruit grove, the 3.5 by 1, and then we're going to use the 3 by 1 inch old olive to cut this die here. So now we have our decorative like plants and things that are going to go here. Now we're going to do our butterfly, and we're going to use this bottom butterfly here on both of the dies. One is kind of a base and one is kind of a outline. The one with more metal is the base, and that's going to be cut out in the 2-inch by 2-inch piece of grapefruit, gorgeous grape. So we'll go ahead and just I'm going to put a little bit of tape here just to hold that in place. Just center your butterfly there in the middle, and then we're just going to run that through our big shot like that. Then the one that's more of an outline, this one right here, we're going to cut that with our 2-inch by 2-inch grapefruit grove. But if you have some adhesive sheeting like this, go ahead and put some adhesive sheeting on the back. Otherwise you can use just regular glue. You might have some extra left over from our January class. I'm going to go ahead and put that in place and then use my gooey scissors to cut away all the extra so that it doesn't get my big shot gooey. So now I'm just going to take this and put it behind this butterfly here. It's on the left now because I flipped over the die. So the one that's on the left, you can see this is where we're going to cut our Grapefruit Grove butterfly. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these two through my big shot. So, and I went back and forth a couple of times to make sure that I got a good cut. Now I am going to use my die brush with this to help get it out. Got to remove that tape first though. So just use my die brush to get that out. And it's ready there. And then I'll do this one here. Remove the tape. And then I'll just use my die brush on it to get it out. So now I have my butterflies as well. So here are all our die cuts. Now these two I'm going to snip off the corners here, and I'm just going to kind of round it. Follow the pattern of the other one. Do the same on this one. So let's bring in our card here, and I'll move some of these aside. We have, we know this is going to go on top of this, and then we know that this, our stamped image, is going to go on top of that. So we'll go ahead and put our stamped Whisper White on top of our oval. And you just have to kind of make it fit. It's a little bit big, and you might have to work with it to get it to fit on there properly. And then this is going to go on top of our Highland Heather scallop die cut. So now we have that. So we're going to put this on with mini dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and put some mini dimensionals on the back. So we know that we're going to want this about, I haven't removed the backing yet. We want it about right there in the bottom portion of the card and centered in the DSP. So what we want to do now is decide where we're going to put our little decorative pieces, whatever we want to call them. That one is going to go right about there. I'm going to cut some of this off. I don't really need this stem, so I'm just going to cut this stem off. And it'll probably go here. And then these decorative things here, I just cut off, I think I just cut off this little curly thing there. But you can leave it on if you want, and I know that I don't need all of this down here, so I'm going to cut some of that off. So you can see I cut that part off there. So you can decide whether you want the little curly or not. I didn't leave the curly in the first one, but I might leave the curly in the second one. Now in our lemon lime twist one, I'm going to use this end here. And I'm just going to cut some of this off because we don't need all of that. So I've cut some of that off. And then that's going to go kind of right here. So there's our little decorative thingies. So we kind of know that's where we want them. So we'll go ahead and remove this. And then I'm just going to get I know it'll be covered up, so I'm just going to get a marker. Well, actually, I'll get a dark marker, not a white marker. I'm just going to mark where those end so that I can kind of know where to place them. And I'm going to put those on with glue dots, so I'll get a glue dot and put glue dot at the bottom part right there, and you can pull it off with your hand, or I like to just use my piercing tool. Put it there. Now I know this one is going to go where the other dot is. I'll put a glue dot at the bottom of it. Find my dot, put it in place, and then put a glue dot at the bottom of this one. And then put it in place where my dot was. Okay, so now I have those. So I could just remove the backing from my mini dimensionals. So I removed the backing. Now I'm ready to put this in place, and it's just going to go kind of right here. Okay, so now I have that. Now I'm ready to put my butterfly here, and this is the base. So if you used the adhesive, this will be a lot easier for you. The bottom one, I'm going to cut the antennas off. So you can see right there, I cut the little antennas off. I'm going to remove the backing. If you didn't use backing, then you'll have to use your glue, and you'll just put little like tiny dots of glue in some of the larger areas, like on the body and the larger areas here. I'm going to put this on top. Match it up. Okay, now I have my butterfly. It's ready to go on. So we're going to put this on with some mini dimensionals and glue dots, and we're going to put mini dimensionals behind the wings here in this area, but we're not going to use whole mini dimensionals. We're going to use like a half of a mini dimensional. So I'm just going to cut some in half and put it in place. There's one. There's two. I'll put one here in the body. Half of a mini dimensional here in the body area. Okay, now that's ready to go on here. We just need to put some glue dots here on this area here. And I'm going to twist it off. It's easier if you twist. Remove the backing from my dimensionals, and we're going to just put it up here in the corner like so. Now we're ready to put our inside panel in. So we'll take our inside sentiment panel and put it on our piece of 4 1/4 by 3 1/2 inch piece of lemon lime twist, and that's going to go on the inside. Now we're ready to do our rhinestones, and our card will be finished. So we have 6 small and 2 medium. We're going to put a medium here at the top of our butterfly, and one kind of here by the A, just above the A, almost maybe a little to the right. Then these we're going to put one in center of each flower, and then the remaining ones we'll put one here on the butterfly beneath the bigger rhinestone, and then one here next to this rhinestone. Okay, so we are finished with our card. Check out my website, www.cutstampcreateclub.com, to see what current club kits I'm offering. Thanks for watching. Bye now.